Aaron Tuttle here for Ferguson Roof Systems. For 43 years, Ferguson Roof Systems has been protecting Oklahoma's homes and businesses with quality roofing services. Their goal was to be the most honest and dependable roofing company in the state, all while providing free services such as lifetime labor warranty and annual inspections. Well, mission accomplished with thousands of client testimonials, an A+ Better Business Bureau rating, and a 5-star rating on Google. Look, the weather gives you enough to worry about, so why worry about who to trust with your roof? Call Ferguson Roof Systems today or find out more at fergusonroofsystems.com.
Hey everyone, Meteorologist Aaron Tuttle back with you again. Yes, we do have, severe weather. Get that graphic off of there. I'm not going to talk about severe weather. We do have some weather out there. You do hear probably rumbles of thunder depending where you're at. We'll talk about the radar there. But we will be talking about that we have some winter weather back in the forecast, and that is coming up just in time for our Thanksgiving week. So, we are back in the saddle of some changes, finally. Honestly, the weather's been a little too quiet for my taste, a little too boring. I will say, I do enjoy the nice quiet, stretches, but things do get a little out of control sometimes this time of year. Hi. All right, come here. So Penelope was in the other room, heard me talking, came running. Hi. You want to come say hi? Okay. I got work to do. All right. Go get your chicken. Okay? All right, we have this little squeaky chicken. She destroyed the squeaky part, destroyed everything but one half of a leg, and it's her favorite toy. She will chase that toy everywhere. All right, let's see. Get back to the business here. By the way, on Facebook, you can opt in to get live weather updates. Just a reminder, if Facebook does not tell you when I go live and you're watching the replay, maybe Monday morning or Monday at lunchtime, all of a sudden you get a Facebook notification like, wait a minute, that was last night. You can hit that thing I put in the comments section to opt in, and that way you can get it directly through me, through your Facebook Messenger. I did make some updates to some software that came out with what I use on the computer, so if things are a little flaky or weird, let me know, and then bear with me, and I'll see if I can't smooth anything out. It's always nerve-wracking when you update something to some dramatic software improvement. It's like, it was working. Let's keep it that way. Okay, so let's see. You guys on YouTube are good, by the way. I see you checking in. Rena's in the house. KC's here. A. Brown. James Parsons. Jackson's here. Of course, Jim from Mustang checking in as always. Shelly's in the house. I know, right? A little thunder out there. Nancy's here. Good to see you, ladies and gents. On Facebook as well, there's a ton of you as well. Appreciate you guys checking in and leaving comments. Manuel says I'm lagging just a bit. Yeah, like for example, when I move, my face moves a little slow, like it's like the Matrix doing one of these. So I gotta figure out what that's about. So if that comes out across on your end, that's what's happening. At least I'm aware of that one. All right, let's get on to business, shall we? First things first. If you haven't noticed outside, it's been a little cloudy, and we did see a little bit of sun peeking through there today. I got some low clouds, though, here in my backyard. And also, you can see the lightning there and the flashes of the light off my AT's weather cam here on the rooftop. Temperatures, we're about 58 degrees, so pretty chilly. There's that lightning detection here. We just had that new one, so that'll update here in a second. But you can also get weather station like I do called the Tempest Weather Station. There's a QR code to save you a few bucks on it. It might be a good Christmas present for you if you've already decided to do your Christmas shopping. All right, let me show you the radar view, and then we're going to go to the big picture, tell you what's happening here in the world of weather back across Oklahoma now that we actually have some action to talk about. All right, so first off, we do have that rainfall that we mentioned across the state. Now, it's kind of hit and miss. It's not like a big widespread deal, and it'll be like that for the rest of tonight and tomorrow. As far as up here in northwest Oklahoma, you guys have a little bit of lightning associated with this. Again, this is not severe weather. Didn't have any severe weather today. Wasn't expected. Here in Orlando, Mulhall, got some lightning associated with these showers, even up towards Stillwater. Guthrie, also some shower activity here in Edmond. Again, this little thing popped up and produced a little lightning strike with it a moment ago, as we just saw. Otherwise, some more down here around Valley Brook and out toward Tinker and 240 and I-40, and also out west toward El Reno. So just some hit and miss showers. If you go down here in southern Oklahoma, same thing around Lindsay, Alex, Duncan, Velma. If we head out toward eastern Oklahoma, same thing. Some light stuff out here across southeastern Oklahoma, and they'll gradually kind of add into the rainfall bucket, so little by little, and we'll get some decent rainfall out of this event for the last 24 hours. So the next about we'll call it, let's see, what time is it now, 9, so 12, yeah, not quite 24 hours, about 18 hours before everything is all said and done and the spigots are shut off from Mother Nature. All right, so speaking of Mother Nature, let's take a look. This is the jet stream pattern. Now, I warned you, by the way, if you did try to read my blog tonight, I apologize. The site crashed again. So I had some web developers work on it over the last year. They thought everything was going good. And then the last 2 blogs I made, which got your attention, crashed the site. So there's some still some issues going on somewhere in the back end that need to be ironed out. So once they get those ironed out, we should be good to go again. All right, so let's take a look here at the jet stream pattern. And again, it'll be chaotic coming up for this Thanksgiving week onward. So let's see which one I'm having. I'm on the European model. All right, now if I told you before, if you look at the bright colors, especially the red areas, that indicates the stronger lift in the atmosphere. This is the upper disturbances that come through. So here's that little batch coming through the Oklahoma region, for example. So that is where you want to look for storm systems and for lift to create precipitation. So obviously we've got one kind of coming through right now. The center of the upper low is actually right about here, but it's a big, broad anchoring trough here. So a lot of lift in a very large area. So this will kind of wrap up here. So here's Sunday night into Monday. We kind of form another area of lower heights, this little circle region here across Kansas and parts of Oklahoma through tonight, tomorrow morning. And what that does mean is it just kind of keeps the inclement weather around us. In other words, the cloud cover and occasional showers. Usually the heaviest rain that will occur in this situation along the location of it and off to the east. So now in kind of an eastward quadrant. So when it comes to weather for tomorrow afternoon, especially potential for severe weather, that would be down here around Arkansas, northern Louisiana, maybe far northeast Texas. So there might be a little bit of severe weather here in this area of the country. That can happen this time of the year for sure. We're just not seeing really anything here. All right, so let's go on into Monday to Tuesday. You will see the jet stream again kind of follows in these little packed lines and it kind of zips on through like so. So this is a nice broad long wave trough. There is a little piece behind, we call it, down here, a little upper level low. And here is a nice ridge of high pressure building in. And the wind flow flows clockwise around a high, like so. And then, of course, counterclockwise around a low, like so. Now, this guy right here, unfortunately, is going to be a pain for you guys in Texas because it's going to be a rainmaker for your Thanksgiving. So let's go through time here. As we head into Wednesday night and Thursday morning, you see this upper low down in Texas kicks out around the Big Bend in Mexico. So that means quite a bit of rainfall for Texas on your Turkey Day. Out in the western coast, we do have another system starting to dive down to the south and west as the jet stream pattern becomes much more active. Meanwhile, this little low right here into Texas will kind of go again from the northern Mexico area, zip right on through, and then head on right into southeast Oklahoma during the day on Thursday. So what does that mean? Yeah, no, it means there's still some clouds around here. It also means a little wraparound, very light precipitation of some light rainfall on our Thursday here. So again, for Thanksgiving, just a little wet, some spotty light showers, nothing too heavy across Oklahoma, but definitely some more measurable, heavier rain into Texas. All right, so that will conclude Thursday. Here's Friday. Watch this little mess start to develop, kind of get a low out here. And remember, the jet stream track will take around these little features. That'll zip right on through Oklahoma and North Texas as we head into Friday afternoon. Okay, now what happens is the little branch up here to the north that comes through, these have a tendency to kind of drive down into some cold fronts. And they don't always make it. Sometimes they lose their punch. We're going to have one that'll start to lose its punch, but it will work its way into Oklahoma for the weekend. All right, so let's go to Saturday morning, right about here. You can still see the energy kind of moves through our region. Let's go into Saturday night and the Sunday morning. Same idea. We still have kind of this gradual kink in the shortwave trough axis right through here, which means we have the energy that comes out and still kind of rotates through Oklahoma and the Southern Plains into Kansas. All right, so now let's go on into Sunday night, into Monday. This activity is still kind of anchored out here in a southwest flow aloft. And then as we head into Tuesday morning, it finally starts to kick through. And here's Tuesday night into Wednesday morning with another low moving through Texas. And all this activity here is lifting the atmosphere as the storm system works through. So that will then be, again, more rain and or will it be snow? So the Canadian model still thinks we're going to have enough cold air in here to get some snow out of this system for Tuesday. And into early Wednesday morning as it moves through. Right now I'm not going to go with that solution. I'm going to go with the European, which things a little bit more milder and they warm things up a bit. But that's the overall pattern. So that's why things get a little more active. And that's why we're going to have a little bit of cloud cover around here, some rainfall, etc. Speaking of which, let's take a look at the rain. So this was the rain that we saw today held across central, northern, eastern, western Oklahoma. Pretty much everybody but the Panhandle got at least something. We had about a half inch here in central Oklahoma. So that's some decent rainfall. So let's go to the future rainfall, in other words, for tonight into tomorrow. So there's that light stuff with some rumbles of thunder kind of mixed in here. Here's 11 o'clock, midnight. You can see how this activity is still kind of heavy, but moves into the eastern third of the state overnight. Stillwater, Tulsa, down south McAllister. Things kind of wind down here in central Oklahoma. You do see some residual light sprinkle activity. This is on Monday morning out here southwest, northwest Oklahoma, even central Oklahoma. So we'll probably get some light sprinkles on occasion, very light passing shower, but nothing heavy. The heaviest stuff is going to move through tonight into early tomorrow morning out east. By 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock and 7 o'clock, we're still having some residual wraparound precipitation and moisture, but it's getting more nuisance stuff, light showers, sprinkles, that kind of deal. Nothing's going to really add to anything as far as a rainfall total. That's going to be more than like a few hundredths at that point. All right, so let's see. That's about it as far as the rain goes. Here's, let's see, Tuesday morning. Looks like maybe still like sprinkles around, maybe some patchy drizzle, because we're going to have a lot of wind out there Monday night into Tuesday. Actually, Monday itself will be pretty breezy. There is a front that's working its way through the state during the day. Rainfall amounts, by the way, will end up adding to what we've already seen. It's about another half inch here in some areas of central Oklahoma. These little darker streaks is where the model tries to show you where the storms are, and that would be up like around 1 to possibly 2 inches of rainfall. You get some really heavy rain that kind of trails one after another. Wind gusts up around 30 plus miles per hour as we head into our Monday. They'll get higher as we go through the day into the night for Monday night into Tuesday morning. That's when they'll be the highest, with gusts up to around 40 miles per hour at that point. Now, it will get cold behind this front. It'll take a while, but the colder air will eventually filter in with some dry air, and that will happen. So by Wednesday, we'll be into the mid-20s here in northwestern corners of the state, upper 20s to near 30 central, and then mid to upper 30s across far eastern Oklahoma. So that'll be our coldest night/morning of the week. Thanksgiving itself, like we talked about, there's going to be a lot of cloud cover around with that upper level of the system. Maybe some breaks out here into the Panhandle in northwest Oklahoma. We talk about the shower activity. Like we said, not very heavy, but spotty, kind of confined, this little arc. So anywhere in here is fair game for just kind of a nuisance showers. I know it's not the best Thanksgiving forecast for you, but it is what it is. Temperatures will be a little chilly as a result, where they get the clouds and the rain, so miles are kind of keeping it to the upper 40s. Here in southeast Oklahoma, kind of close to 50, and otherwise about low to mid 50s. Elsewhere in the state, with a little bit of sun, you should peak into the 60s. So the blog I did over a week ago with the GFS, peaking I think 55 for a high, did pretty good. I know there's a lot of wild forecasts out there on the internet for Thanksgiving, all this talk of Arctic air and all this stuff, and that was all nonsense, as you can tell. We're going to be at 54, which is actually pretty decent. Okay, so now let's talk about snow. So I also talked about this in the blog, how we have these little members. There's on the left chart, these are numbers, so 1 through 50. In other words, you push the model 50, nudge it 50 different directions. These are called the ensemble members. All right, so what happens is we look to see how the output changes, and we look at the time frames. This is going to be on the night of the 25th to the 26th to the 27th. So in this little time frames, this is why there's been a lot of chaos, a lot of noise in this area for some snow. Now, we also count the numbers. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So now we have 19 out of 50. Now, when this thing first started, we had like 4. So the model has slowly been increasing in confidence that, hey, we're going to get some snow out of this. Now, I'm just picking Oklahoma City for this example just because it's a central point of the state. If I were to go pull this same graphic out in northwest or western Oklahoma, there'd be a little bit more numbers on here, and the amounts would be a little bit higher. So right now the amounts are mostly in the gray, which is about less than half an inch of snow. So the average mean, or the mean down here, is about less than half an inch of snow here for the Oklahoma City metro area. Now, can this change? You bet. And the model could be a lot more confident. We can have temperatures a little bit colder at the surface, and there's still plenty of wiggle. Remember, it's kind of like tornadoes. My rule of thumb is you don't talk about legitimate snowfall forecast totals until about 48 hours from the event, because things change too much. Snow is very difficult to predict anyway, much less to get exact totals from track amounts and timing and all that. But what we can look at is a signal, all right? So the signal is there for snow. The surface temperatures, the model is also stating, is going to be a little on the mild side. So remember, 32 degrees is the freezing point of water. We're going to be in the low to mid 30s. Now, is that cold enough for snow? Believe it or not, yes, it is, because it'll be a below freezing above right where we live and breathe. So you do have some melting that happens in that case with some wet snow, but yet you can still have snow. Now, where the blue is, you're at the freezing point or less, so they're 28 in Amarillo, so much easier to get measurable snow in the area blue. Now, can this area blue shift to the east? Of course, sure can. Can it retrograde to the west? Yeah, it can do that too. But this is a good stab at it when we're talking about almost a week away. All right, now, we do talk about snowfall totals. It's just for fun. This is just to kind of show you what the model's thinking. And like I said, these will change probably half a dozen times between now and the time that the event actually starts. But you can see the European model favors the heavier precipitation out here in the Panhandle and out here across northwest Oklahoma. Just a dusting here in central and northeast Oklahoma. Nothing down the south and east as temperatures are just too warm. Here's a bigger view of that. So it does have more snow out here toward the New Mexico area and southern Colorado. Now, other models will say something different. This is the Canadian model, for example. And it seems to love a heavy track of 3 to 4 to 5, 6 inches of snow across Oklahoma, but in central and eastern Oklahoma, and not over the weekend, but into that Tuesday time frame. So the models are differing not only on the storm tracks, but also the timing. And this far out, this time of the year, is very difficult. There's about a 3-week period from late September to mid-December where long-range forecasts get really difficult because there's so much chaos in the model data. It'll eventually settle down as the jet stream settles down. But until then, you're going to see some really wild output swings. So here's, for example, the UK Met. This model has the heavy stuff up here in northwest Oklahoma, so flips the state, the other side. And this actually comes in Friday night with measurable snow all the way down to Oklahoma City. Now, that's a big difference from Friday night and Tuesday, wouldn't you say? We go to the American GFS model. It kind of splits the difference. It says its snow comes on Saturday, and it comes a little bit more farther to the south with almost 4 inches of snow here in Oklahoma City and elsewhere out to the west. Still some measurable snow north and east. So this is just to show you the big difference in the output from the models. I'll lean toward the European for now, as I usually do during winter weather events. It's typically far superior. Sometimes it does bust, but this far out, you got to pick something, and usually it won't lead you too far astray. When we do look at the flat two-dimensional plane of the whole country, I want to show you where the model does. If you move those 50 members different directions during our period of snow that we're talking about, and this is like a 15-day period. So it's not only include what comes this weekend into early next week, but also up through the very end of the month, which would be Thursday into Friday. All right, so if I put my little cursor over this, watch how the output changes over Oklahoma. You see how there's no snow there at almost all of the state? And there's no snow. Here's one that's got a little thin band. Here's another. You see how it's all over the place? This is just one model. Imagine all the other models doing the same thing. And you want to talk about chaos and trying to forecast snow this far out? You see what I'm saying? It's a fun game. There's another run there, and I'll just keep flipping on through, just so you can get an idea of how dramatic the swings are, both in intensity, for example, this one, even in amounts. Where's that one that had purple? There you go. See that purple? That's 6, 7, 8, 9 inches of snow. Wouldn't that be something? Oh, there was some pink on that one. That's almost a foot of snow there in northern Oklahoma. So you go from either nothing to a foot of snow. Now that's a model. And there's some down into Texas. So there you go. All right. And again, all of this depends on, how actually cold it's going to be, the actual track of the upper low, a lot of ingredients that come together to produce snow and or a chilly rain. Let's keep that in mind as well. All right. So that's kind of just a look at kind of how that can be fun to look at. All right. Here's a look at temperatures, though, for the extended outlook in Oklahoma City. Your miles may vary depending on your backyard or where you live. Typically, in normal weather situations, there's not a huge change from one city to the next when it comes to temperatures, but we have these wild swings with cold fronts that come in. Obviously, the colder would be northwest and western Oklahoma. The warmer would be southeast Oklahoma. So you might get a bit of a wild swing in temperatures there. If that's the case, just make sure you use my weather app, AT's Weather to Go. It's free on Apple and Google Play. If you're getting something that pops up that says you got to pay for something, you clicked on an ad or an ad popped up or something else, so get out of that, ignore it. It's free. I never charged you, never will. Let's see. But temperatures here, we'll get down to the 30s, like we talked about for Wednesday morning. And Thanksgiving also pretty chilly in the morning hours, but we're going to moderate during the day. And then we talked about the kind of the sweet spot here, at least in the European model, liked Saturday night into Sunday morning for the snow to fall. Other models, again, varied, which would also help to vary these temperatures. So there's probably going to be some massaging going on in these numbers once we get to the 5-day onward window as things become a little bit more clear. But at least now you know what's driving the change, what's coming our way, what we're looking at. Now, like you, for Thanksgiving week, obviously I'm going to be with family and doing some things that are not on their way of work, but I will try to check in the weather on occasion and try to find some time where I can update you on social media if, once it looks things a little more clear for the timing of the snow and how much we'll see. But I will tell you this, again, I don't foresee, as of right now, anything that's going to cause travel problems around here. Why? Still early in the year. We've got obviously temperatures still pretty mild now, considering ground temperatures are still very warm. So that usually means a lot of melting. Plus, if we see surface temperatures around 30 to 35 degrees, that's a lot of melting that can occur. Pretty much as it falls. And that's the other frustrating thing about snowfall forecasts. When you try to pick a number, you get a situation to where if you're at like 33 degrees versus 32 or 31, huge difference in what can melt, versus what will not melt and what will accumulate for longer periods. So you can have really dramatic wild swings in that final snowfall measurement, and some people get really upset and some people are really happy. Depends on which side of the aisle you're on, if you want snow or don't. So that's always fun to mess with. Okay, so let me look here at a couple of your comments, and like I said, can you keep it short and sweet? No, you can keep it short and sweet, but informative. Tonight actually went a little long just because, A, you haven't seen my face, and I know you missed me, so I thought I'd give you a few extra minutes. Otherwise, there was so much to talk about, so that's why tonight went a little longer. Plus, I had this first one, I think I've gone live with all the software changes, so I was expecting some issues. Isaac, I know it snowed. It snowed several times in November. And in October, I'm sure we've had something. We had an ice storm, was it 2 years ago for October? I've lost count. All the days and years run together to me. But yeah, so we do have that issue that it can happen in various parts of Oklahoma. Usually the Panhandle is usually first at getting in on any of the action. All right, let me see here. Let me go to YouTube here real quick. It's a bit grainy. It's a bit misty outside. Yeah, the weather's not the best. And Jeff, yeah, I take a little bit of a break when the weather quiets down because I have so many other things that I do. I'm so busy usually, and so I try to take any breaks I can from the weather to keep my sanity and to not, go crazy. And I see Mrs. Tuttle's in the house. Check in on you guys. That's always good. By the way, you guys on Rumble, thanks for checking in as well. As that platform kind of matures and gets better with this chat feature, we can be a little bit more active on the chat side of things. Matter of fact, if I click on that now, let me see if I can even access it. Okay, I can. All right, so what I'll do from like here on out, I'll probably try to start paying more attention to the chat side, the live chat on Rumble, since they do have that up and running. I think they added that earlier, like in the summer. I've lost track. Slept since then. Let's see here. I think that was it. If you had any questions for me on Facebook, you'll need to pop them in here real quick before I sign off. No severe weather is expected. Araceli, we should be good. And thanks, Carol. And thank you, Julie. You're welcome. Let's see. Karen, I'm traveling to Overland Park. How's the weather Friday and Saturday? So that's another thing, by the way. If you are going to be traveling for the holiday or any holiday, this time of year is a lot of vacation, a lot of travel. Make sure you take the weather app with you on your phone. So AT's Weather to Go. It's free. Just search for my name, Aaron Tuttle, or AT's Weather. It should come up. Now, it may not be the first thing to come up anymore because there's some unscrupulous activity in the Play Store where people will tag my name and then they'll advertise their product with that tag. So that way it pops up first because they paid to be first, even though you really looked for my app. It is the way it is, man. People are shady. So they're hoping that you'll click theirs instead of mine. Anyway, so just keep that in mind. But yeah, you can take it anywhere you go. It'll keep you updated on your temperatures and your weather conditions. Fran, happy Thanksgiving back to you. So Karen, yeah, it kind of depends on how the models pan out for the tracks for snow. As you saw in some of those outputs, Kansas had a little bit more than others, but most of them kind of focused over Oklahoma for what it was, and it wasn't much in general terms. Robert, thank you for the stars tonight. By the way, thank you, all of you, that sent any stars tonight. I do appreciate that. And anytime you want to join the Facebook fan subscriptions or Patreon, YouTube fan subscriptions, there's many options if you'd like to support what I do. I've been doing this since, on the video side of things, 2014. Just for social media side of things, about 2010. So I've been doing it for a little bit. Candace just got in. How much in Tulsa? You are so late to the party. What's your excuse? Like I said, we missed that part, but the models had anywhere from a dusting to as much as probably, 4 inches, and some of those were crazier amounts. But I also said don't pay attention to those until about 48 hours out. So I wouldn't worry about snowfall forecasts until after Thanksgiving. In other words, I think probably about Thanksgiving Day onward, the data should start to get much better for the time frame over the weekend. So that way we'll narrow it down for you. But I wouldn't worry about anything sticking around to cause problems. Grounds are too warm, and amounts should be fairly light with temperatures on that critical 34, 35 degrees. You gotta get the wet snowflakes that melt. And Emily just got the notification. Oh my goodness. So I'm going to post that link again for Emily or those others, that if you're late to the party and it's because Facebook didn't properly tell you, you can click on this link I posted, which will give you the ability to opt in. Did that post? Like it just disappeared on me. Let's try that again. Okay, that one I think worked. Okay, it's there, she says. All right, so that's an option for you. I just get into your Facebook DM and then let you know I'm about to go live. That way you don't miss anything. So that's kind of a workaround that I have for Facebook of not playing nice with algorithms. Otherwise, you can go to, when you do follow the page, you can click at the top where you manage the page options. And you can, because they always change it on you. So click on that to get notified every time I go live. And or if I make a post, just check those settings. That way you've done all that you can do. Still ice cream on YouTube. I'll tell you what, if you guys missed the live that I did in Canada when I was on vacation with Jody in Banff, in that area of the country, gorgeous up there. That snow was so pure. Oh, it was so good. I like to eat the snow. I'm a kid, right? So, of course, I'm going to eat the snow. And that was their first significant snowfall. And you didn't have to worry about contaminants or pollutants or nothing. I was like, whoa, this is what snow's supposed to taste like? This is awesome. She just laughed at me. She's like, you crazy southerner. But yeah, that was a neat thing. And that was almost as good as their tap water up there. The tap water is glacier fed, underground spring, and it is the best tap water you'll ever have. You go up to you could probably drink out of the toilet if you wanted to. I wouldn't advise it, but we did drink out of the hotel sink, like the faucets in the bathroom. That water was so good. And trust me, it took a minute to get over the mental hang up of that, but once I tasted it, whew, it's good stuff. You got it, Jeff. I understand, man. I'm all with you on that one. Let me think. I think that's about it. So I appreciate, again, if you had any problems on the broadcast side of things, if I looked a little weird, slow, choppy, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, I think it seemed to work out okay. And then I'll be back with some more lives as we go through the winter season. They'll be picking up again. Because we're in, like I said, a pretty busy pattern right now, so we'll be having more opportunities for rain, snow. Sometimes you get thunderstorms in the winter. Like tonight, we're getting a little bit. They're not severe, but you will have a little bit of thunder if you're underneath some of the heavier ones. And I think that's about it. Okay, make sure you subscribe, tap the bell on YouTube, and subscribe and on Facebook and all the other social media platforms you're on. Same thing for Rumble. They each have their own little way of doing it. That way you don't miss anything, and I appreciate your support, and we will talk again soon. Good night, everybody, and happy Thanksgiving.